champion is crowned. It's time to kick it off again. The Class 2A championship is next on the IHSAA Champions Network.
As McIntosh drops back, he looks for Hudson, streaking down the sideline. Touchdown! Panthers win! Panthers win! Can you believe this, Andy? Can you believe this, team?
Quickly becoming a storied venue, Lucas Oil Stadium in downtown Indianapolis. It's the site of 5 state championships this weekend. In the days and weeks to come, it'll become the site of the first ever Big Ten football championship. And of course, we'll host the Super Bowl. It's time for the 2A state championship in boys high school football. I'm Mark James, happy to be joined by Noblesville head coach Lance Scheib. And coach, an outstanding matchup between two storied traditions, Evansville Mater Dei and Fort Wayne Bishop Luers.
Well, I tell you what, they both have done just a great job over the years. They have just, had year in and year out. If you're going to play in the state finals, you normally have to beat one of these two teams. Coach Goebel and Coach Lindsay both that just year in and year out just do things the right way. They always are here. They just play great football. It should be a great game.
Fort Wayne Bishop Luers, a team looking for the three-peat.
I tell you what, winning it one time is just hard, but winning it 3 is just unheard of.
Well, the Fort Wayne Bishop Luers Ball Club getting here by wins over East Side in the sectional. Number 11, Cherubusco. They beat Tipton in the regional 44-23 and then knocked off number 5, Bremen in the semi-state 35-21. Perhaps their biggest test of the season was that semi-state win, and they feature an outstanding running back.
I tell you what, Jaylon Smith has just had a great year. He's rushed for almost 1,200 yards, has 191 yards, receiving 29 touchdowns. That's unbelievable. Plus, he's also has 17 tackles for loss on defense and 9 sacks. That's just an amazing feat.
6'3" and a feathery 213, we might add. Mater Dei's sectional trail and regional trail wins over number 12 North Posey and Sullivan in the sectional, number 13 Southridge. They beat Triton Central 48-14 in the regional and then outslugged Guerin Catholic. Coach, that was a come-from-behind win. They were down at halftime, winning that one 27-16 eventually.
I tell you what, that game showed so much character. Coach Goebel was so excited about that, just to see his kids react in the halftime. Just is this how you want it to end? Talking about last year's loss to North Putnam. What a great deal and what a great success. Cody has probably their best player. Running back's done a great job running for almost 1,300 yards and 20 touchdowns. He really is their workhorse.
Well, Cody Hess is an outstanding football player. He averages about 7 yards per carry and has scored 22 touchdowns on the season. So a battle of two outstanding running backs. Happy to have with us a veteran of these broadcasts patrolling the sidelines. Let's go downstairs to Greg Rakestraw.
Guys, a pleasure to be with you on this Friday evening. And of course, these two share a history. 10 years ago, at the building is no longer here across the street, the RCA Dome, these two teams met for a second consecutive season in the 2001 2A state championship game. In those two games, again, those two teams split those two decisions. So in talking with both coaches at the media session on Monday, I said, guys, do you look at each other as mirror images of the other? Coach Lindsay from Fort Wayne Bishop Luers said, yes, we do. And talking with Coach Gable from Evansville Mater Dei, he said, well, sort of, kind of, except they're bigger and they've got better athletes. To take that whole comparison step one step further, these two guys were both longtime assistants at their high schools before becoming head coaches, and their first year at their two respective schools, you guessed it, those are similar too. They've both been at their institutions since 1979. Mark?
Time now for the Farmers Insurance keys to the matchup. Coach Scheib?
I tell you what, the biggest thing for Bishop Luers tonight, they really are concerned about putting pressure on the Mater Dei quarterback, and I think that's going to be a real big test for them to make him feel uncomfortable. Along with they feel like their quarterback has to take care of the football, and then getting Michael Rogers involved in the game early is really important for them.
So Fort Wayne Bishop Luers looking for the three-peat, as we mentioned, going against Evansville Mater Dei. I talked to Coach Gable about what some of the keys were to his football team, and you talked to him about that a little bit this week as well.
I tell you what, with their spread offense, he really feels like it's going to be real important to have their playmakers make plays. They're going to be in space a lot against a very athletic Luers team, but they feel like they've got to be able to make plays. Also keep their focus. Felt like they weren't as focused in that first half against Guerin Catholic last week, and feels like this week he's got to have 4 quarters of focus. And then the biggest thing is just to control Luers athletes. They do some amazing things, and I think their spread offense so gives them that opportunity to really get a lot of one-on-one matchups. It should be really a very interesting and fun game.
With all of the success that Mater Dei has had in all forms of athletics along with Luers, is it that big of an advantage that Luers has been here now for the 3rd consecutive season and Mater Dei hasn't been here in a while?
I tell you what, I think to a point it is, but I still think it's a new team. It's a new group of kids this year trying to find their own identity and still coming back here when it's a different role than what they played last year. I think there is definitely an advantage for Luers here, but I think both programs have been here before, and so it should be a great game.
Fort Wayne Bishop Luers against Evansville Mater Dei. It's the 2A title game. A great crowd on hand for both ball clubs. Let's look at the starting lineups now. The starting lineups brought to you by the Indianapolis Colts. Indianapolis Colts, myindianafootball.com.
Official high school football website of the Indianapolis Colts.
Now let's meet the teams of the Class 2A Championship. And now the 12-1 Fort Wayne Bishop Luers Knights.
It's Lucas Oil Stadium.
The state finals.
Seniors especially, you have a chance to do something that very, very few people have ever done, and that's win all your playoff games for your whole career, go 18-0. But it's going to take a great effort today against a great football team in Mater Dei. So God bless and good luck.
It's 48 minutes.
48 minutes between us and victory.
48 minutes between us and the state title.
48 minutes between us and the Class 2A title.
We will be victorious.
This is a season to remember.
It started last summer.
We made it.
All the way.
All the way to the state finals.
We're going to bring home the trophy.
It's every kid's dream.
To play in a state championship.
To win the state title.
Let's do it.
Here come the Knights.
Here come the Knights.
Go Knights.
We are.
We are.
We are.
We are the Bishop Luers Knights.
It's game time.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome head coach Matt Lindsay and the 12-1 Fort Wayne Bishop Luers Knights.
All right, men, this has been a lifetime of preparation. Now we're on the big stage. Let's go out and give it everything we have and play like we're capable tonight.
4 quarters between us and victory. 4 quarters between us and the state title.
Now it's our time.
We're going to play like champions. Our time to be state champs. When the clock hits 0, we will be victorious.
Fans, thank you so much for your support throughout the year. You've been a lot of energy. You've made it a privilege for these young men to play. Thank you for coming up to Indianapolis today, and we hope to put on a good show. Please use everything you have to make us better today.
It's time. Time to take the field.
It's time to take the field. Let's play some Wildcat football.
Here come the Wildcats. We are. We are.
We are.
We are the Mater Dei Wildcats. It's game time.
Champions of the Southern Semi-State, head coach Mike Gable and the 13-1 Evansville Mater Dei Wildcats. So, Coach, no more X's and O's, no more film. It's time to tee it up and play.
I tell you what, there's no greater moment than a Friday night at 7 o'clock getting ready to play football, being here on Thanksgiving weekend for a state championship. I tell you what, a great environment for these kids, what a great environment for their parents and their communities. And I tell you what a great stage for high school football, and it should just be a lot of fun tonight.
Had an opportunity a couple of years ago to be on the staff of Monrovia that was here against Fort Wayne Bishop Luers, and we had Monrovia grad Rick Stripe, the outstanding coach from Cathedral High School. He came out and talked to our kids on Thanksgiving Day, and he said, you know, despite the Thanksgiving holiday, really, the 2A teams have it the best because it's your closest week to normal preparation because you typically play Friday nights at 7 o'clock.
And that is such a big deal. These kids, they're still kids, and they still have trouble when things get disrupted. And that's the hardest thing about this week is trying to keep your kids focused and in a routine. Playing on Friday night at 7 o'clock is great for both of these programs, great for their kids. And again, I think that we'll see that tonight in just a fantastic game.
Well, you see the coin toss about to take place at midfield.
Bishop Luers has won the toss. They will defer to the second half. Mater Dei will receive on this end.
I always deferred.
I always took the ball. I like the ball.
You were a receiver though. You
I understand that. I still like the idea, especially on a Friday night, the second half, to take the win and dictate that I get it in the fourth quarter. So I'll take the ball the first half, and I'll take the win in the fourth quarter.
My mindset always was I wanted the football to start the second half. There's a good look at a man in his 25th year at Fort Wayne Bishop Luers, 226 and 95. He's won 70% of his games, Matt Lindsay.
That is, I tell you what, to get here once is just an unbelievable feat. To do what Coach Lindsay has done year in, year out, just speaks credit and a volume to his ability to just communicate with kids and to get the best out of them, because it's not easy to get here, and yet Coach Lindsay does it year after year.
These are two pretty successful coaches that are going head-to-head here this evening, and Coach Lindsay and his counterpart across the way. A good look at Mike Gable. I've had the pleasure the last couple of seasons of working with Mike as my analyst on the IHSAA Individual Wrestling State Finals, and with a state championship to his credit in high school football, he's won 76% of his games, 147 and 45. He's won 12 state championships in wrestling, and has set records as a wrestling coach that will most likely never be equal to the state of Indiana.
I tell you what, my hat goes off to him. How he can be back-to-back seasons of a head coach is just amazing. He has done a great job with obviously wrestling, but football just speaks for itself. With who they play, with how he does things, it's just a credit to him and his program.
He did give the wrestling up a couple of years ago, which allowed him to serve as our analyst, but continues to patrol the sidelines. I think his assistant, his longtime assistant at Evansville Mater Dei, didn't lose a dual wrestling meet in 24 years. 24 years didn't lose a dual wrestling meet.
Again, when you're doing that, that tells me that you have a great feeder program. That tells me you're doing it the right way from A through Z, and it doesn't surprise me.
Well, we're just about ready to get this one underway. Fort Wayne Bishop Luers and Evansville Mater Dei. Owen will drop deep to receive the kick. Brandon Stein is also deep. Set to kick it away for Fort Wayne Bishop Luers. Strack gets a toe into it, drives him back towards the 5-yard line. He'll return it up the right side, bumped out of bounds at about the 23-yard line. Pretty solid return by Cody Hess. Hess takes it to about the 23. That won't be the last time we see Cody Hess touch the football.
No, I'll tell you what, he is definitely their workhorse. He's done a great job all year. Just, again, when a team relies on their running back like Mater Dei does, especially in their spread, he's going to have the ball in his hands a bunch tonight.
Dane Mauer's thrown for over 2,900 yards and 33 touchdowns, just 8 picks. He's tossed it 272 times. His older brother, Blake, one of the finest wrestlers in the history of the state of Indiana, went to Ohio State before his career was cut short due to injuries. So Hess is in the backfield with Dane Mauer. They'll give it to Hess. He'll try the left side. Some running room. Big hold over the 35 to the 36-yard line. Pickup of about 11. Now the starting lineup, brought to you by the Indianapolis Colts. Visit myindianafootball.com. Boots, Wright, Wilson, Rexing, and Richard, a very, very solid offensive line up front for the modern-day Wildcats. We mentioned Mr. Do Everything, Cody Hester, running back. Owen, T. Koppel, Brandon Stein, and Eiler among the receiving core as they'll go 3-4 wide most of the afternoon. We'll give you the modern-day, or the Fort Wayne Bishop Luers defense momentarily. On the keeper is Maurer.
Great job.
Not much doing there. The linebacker steps up to make the stop. Brooks, Beckman, Green, and Starks, the defensive front. It's a good one and an experienced one for Fort Wayne Bishop Luers. Montez Brooks, Jaylon Smith, and Aaron Lemaster, the linebacking core. Lemaster on that stop. Middle linebacker, you'll see him plenty. Kendrick Mullen, you remember brother Ken, who was here for the last 2 state championships. He's a DB for now. Spencer, Jemson, and Dorman, the other DBs on 2nd and 9. Hess tries the pile, pushes it forward about a couple, pickup of about 2. Going to bring up a 3rd down and long situation. What modern day does not want to find themselves in against Fort Wayne Bishop Luers?
No, I tell you what, and Luers is telling them to throw the football. They're playing man-to-man across the board here, keeping really 6.5 guys inside the tackle box here, and so they're saying throw it. And I'll be anxious to see how the receivers handle the one-on-one coverage.
Beckman and Green among those in on the stop. They combined for over 110 tackles on the season and about 35 tackles for loss between the two. 3rd down and long for the first time. Maurer takes a look, throws it out in the flat, has a man open, pass is complete. Hunter Owen hauls it in. Across the 45 to about the 44-yard line.
What a great route there. Great timing. Ran about a 12-yard corner route. Dane had hit his back foot, hit him right in stride. Great diving catch.
And let's not discount the pass protection. Had plenty of time to set up in the pocket, wait for the route to develop, hit his man out in the flat. Great route, good throw and catch, good job up front.
Tell you what, it should be how much time Dane gets this game will really determine the outcome of the game.
And not to mention the fact this has got to make Cody Hess smile. That's going to open things up for him if they can throw the football.
Exactly.
Play action to Hess. He finds a little seam, but boy, great closure. Big defensive end in on the stop.
I tell you what, the way that Luers is playing so close to the line of scrimmage with their DBs, they really limit what you can do, and thus you got to hold the ball a little bit, and that's what happened that time.
Tony Fair stepped in to make that top. Big defensive end. He's just a sophomore, goes 6'2", 285. Loss of a couple, bring up 2nd and 13 now for modern day. First drive of the ball game. First quarter action just underway. Lafayette Central Catholic already with a 3-peat in their win over Cecina a few moments ago. Pressure on the quarterback, little screen to Hess. Doesn't get the block that he needs, but still got the loss back and then some. He's dropped across the 43-yard line to about the 42.
I really like the call there. Ran a screen. Anytime you're having trouble up front blocking them a little bit, let's slow them down a little bit. Screens always a great thing to do. Getting the ball into Cody Hess's hands is never a bad option.
Jemison from that outside linebacker, strong safety position, did a great job of closing on that play. Looked like he was going for a big gain. So 3rd down and 9. We're looking at 4-down territory now for modern day?
I don't think so. I think if they don't get here, I think you punt it and play field position.
They'll dispatch trips to the right on 3rd down and 9. False start. Left side of the offensive line got an early start.
Okay, that's one thing you don't want to do.
Dead ball, false start, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
The intangibles, if you will, very tangible though penalties, but it's what they're talking about when they talk about minimizing mistakes, especially the unforced ones.
Exactly.
You're going to get called for a hold. You know that, but that's an unforced error.
Those are things that drive coaches crazy.
Hess is the back to the right on 3rd down and 14. Here comes pressure from the backside. Gets rid of it, throws it up for grabs, and it's incomplete. Pass intended again for Hunter Owen. That'll bring up a 4th down situation for modern day. Decision-making time for Mike Gable.
I would assume he's going to punt it here just to get to play, to do something to pin back Luers and make him go the length of the field now.
So Hunter Owen will punt it away.
think the biggest thing there that last time, Mater Dei quarterback still was pressured, did not have a lot of time to read the defense there.
Jemison among those, deep to receive it. I don't think they're going to mess around. They're going to try to kick it out of bounds, but they're able to haul it in. And a big stop at about the 22-yard line. As on the return was Andrew Spencer, the 5'11 junior defensive back.
Tell you what, it is so important now for Mater Dei not have been here in a decade now to come out on defense and establish themselves, because this Luers offense is awfully powerful and awfully potent.
Ball is at the 16. Natke is the quarterback. 6'3", 200 a senior, 115 of 206 on the season. 4 interceptions, 27 touchdowns. He's thrown for almost 2,000 yards. Jaylon Smith, as we mentioned, 6'3", 213. He's rushed for 1,100 yards. 29 touchdowns on the season. Empty set. They look at the screen. Natke wants to find some running room left side, finds some up the middle instead. Across the 25 to the 27-yard line. Ball's loose, and it looks like Mater Dei has recovered it.
Turnovers are always big, no matter what games you play, no matter what level. State finals, they become magnified.
Sean Horty recovers the fumble from his outside linebacker's position. That's a great strip by the safety.
I tell you, anytime you can, that's not something that you do on your own. That's something the Mater Dei staff has taught and coached, and the kids did a great job of executing it there.
David Eiler, whose name you will hear plenty. So great field position for Evansville Mater Dei as they force the turnover of Natke from the 27. Pressure, breaks free, penalty marker down, throws it up for grabs in the end zone, and it's knocked away. Holding the call, and just like that, you're fearful that any momentum that you gained over the turnover has now gone.
I tell you what, Mater Dei is having all kind of trouble early on blocking Luers.
You're going to have to roll
holding
him out.
Offense.
More often than
10-yard
not, you're going
penalty.
to have to roll him out.
Repeat. First down.
Short possession type stuff. It's going to be hard to go for the home run ball against an athletic team like Fort Wayne Bishop Luers.
No, and they've kind of changed their alignment, and they're not pressing the inside receivers now. So look for, like you just said, some quick passes, get the ball out of his hands, and I go back to run the ball. They've had success doing that.
Because of the spot of the foul, which was around the 35-yard line, it is 1st and 28. Joel Hess had some running room. The hole closed up in a hurry, and he stumbles forward for a gain of about 4.
I think it's a great call. I think the biggest thing right now is control the pass rush and the front of Luers. I'd come back again with some kind of screen, whether it be inside or out, or roll the quarterback out. I think you've got to do something to get him on the move a little bit and allow your lineman the chance to actually protect and definitely move the launch point of your quarterback so Luers can't just tee off on him.
Aaron LeMasters with that tackle from his outside linebacker's position brings up a 2nd down and 25. So the pickup was for 3. Now, quick screen out the flat, complete. Teacup wrapped up and dropped almost immediately as a swarm of white shirts converge upon the football. Tyvel Jemison, 66 tackles and 3 sacks on the season, among those there first.
Now, we did talk about running that type of screen, but you still have to execute it, block the right people. And I tell you what, Luers got a lot of people to the ball in a hurry. And I still think that's a great call by Mater Dei. It's really difficult to have that type of down and distance.
Kendrick Mullen had the outside sealed as well. So 3rd down and long. Mater Dei hoping not to waste the turnover that they forced a couple of downs ago. Maurer drops straight back. Here comes the pressure. Flushed out of the pocket. Looks for some running room up the middle. Going to be swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Going to bring up a 4th down and long.
Tell you what, anytime you struggle like Mater Dei is a little bit right now up front, that really handcuffs you as a coach. And I think you got to be real careful. That penalty proved real costly, but you got to really try to make your win on 1st down. And again, going backwards is not winning, but you've got to, when Marta gets the ball back, they've got to do something where it's 2nd and 7, 2nd and 5, give himself a little better chance.
Hunter Owen set to punt it away again. Same twosome. That one off the side of his foot. Not going to be a chance for a return here, but the officials will work together and spot it. Still working their way up the sideline to the 30, and they'll spot it out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Napke's fumble on the first play didn't give us an opportunity to set the rest of the offense for Fort Wayne Bishop Luers. Napke, as we mentioned, 6'3", 200 pounds, and a senior. 115 of 206 on the season. Dorman and Smith in the backfield with him when they do decide to line up the I. They're in a 3-receiver set with twins to the right this time on 1st and 10. Smith, not much running room up the middle. He's bottled up and dropped at about the 31.
The biggest difference right now is Mater Dei is playing a 7-man front instead of a 6 like Luers is.
A lot of 6'3", 230-pound plus linemen, Baker, Woods, Sturham and company. The backfield, we already gave them to you. Morgan, Rogers, Williamson, the receiving core. Dorman will line up as fullback along with Smith. Very, very talented, very experienced offense. You gotta like the things that Napke does for Fort Wayne Bishop Luers. A lot of confidence. 2nd and 8, 4:51 mark of the first. Second possession. First one resulted in a fumble. Pass out the flat, a breakdown in coverage. Wide open. Mullen gobbles it up, gets it into Evansville Mater Dei territory to the 48-yard line.
The way Evansville's playing their defense right now, they're a man short in pass coverage. Napke did a great job of seeing that and getting the ball out to one of his playmakers. Great play by Luers.
So 1st and 10 for Fort Wayne Bishop Luers. Smith thought about the counter and then saw a little seam off tackle and went up to about the 45-yard line. Defensively, Boots and Wright start up front along with Richard and Polk, two pretty good defensive ends who are awfully active, both in double digits in terms of tackles for loss. An active linebacking core, Horty, Horseman, and Evan Collins. They're also in double digits, each and every one. Hunter Owen, Hartz, Blankenberger, and Mann will step up with outstanding run support, especially off the corners. Blankenbaker with 72 tackles out of his free safety position on the season. 2nd down at about 7. Rogers comes in motion from left to right. He goes into the slot. Now he'll run out in the flat, catch the football, breaks one tackle, then he's wrapped up and dropped just shy of the 1st down. Give him a gain of about 4.5, maybe 5. Going to bring up a very manageable 3rd down and short.
Great job that time by Fort Wayne Luers. They motioned into a twin set and was able to rub or pick the defender from Mater Dei off to give himself a little chance to make it 3rd and short now. Good call. I think, Mark, one of the biggest things I'm curious about right now, Mater Dei keeps jumping back and forth from a 7-man box compared to a 6-man box, meaning how many people are there from tackle to tackle. And every time they have gone to a 6-man box, Luers has run the ball. Every time they brought that extra defender in there, they've thrown it. Great job by the Luers staff.
Even with the turnover by Napke, it's clear through the first couple of possessions of this football game. He got a good spot and did get a 1st down, apparently. Luers just seems to be a bit more rhythmic offensively than Mater Dei in their first 2 possessions.
And I tell you what, Napke having been here really helps. You know, you asked a question earlier about how important it is. I think it's real important having your quarterback having played here, because he is your calming force, and he really has stand in there and delivered and really has bounced back from that fumble, has thrown some really nice balls. I tell you what, he is a good looking young man.
Still no score in the 1st quarter. We expected this to be a good one. So far it has not disappointed. Again, Mater Dei not really comfortable offensively yet, and Fort Wayne Bishop Luers threatening a bit here. Rodgers comes in motion to the slot right this time. They'll float him out in the flat and try to dial it up down the middle of the field, and they do so. Great catch.
Tell you what a great job again. Same route as earlier, but that time they went with the post route right down the middle of the field. It was one-on-one, man-to-man coverage there. Great throw by Napke.
Channing Williams with the reception. The first catch of the game for Williams. A 6-foot junior, weighs 180 pounds. They ran the same route that they ran last time to the opposite side.
Exactly, and this time they saw a weakness in the post route and did a great job. And so, again, great timing, great tempo by the Luers passing game.
1st and goal to go from the 2. They'll go with